Hey y'all, welcome back to Colorful Situations, where we have conversations about love, marriage, and everything in between. I'm Sunny.
Hey, and y'all know me. I'm your girl, Liv. So we are always having a conversation, right, about everyday issues because we're everyday women about issues that affect relationships without the pretty bow
Without the pretty
and
bow.
raw and uncut at times.
That's me. She's talking about me.
Me too. But that's the concept here for us to just have a conversation with you all, the color beans, and us here in the studio set together. Um, but before we do so, y'all know we always check on how we feel because your feelings and your mood kind of just either intensifies or it dulls down the situation that you got going on. So it's always good to check where you are and your levels and identify that so you can communicate. So, as I always say, how you doing?
I'm doing well. We all know that I'm always green. So I am green, which means I am peaceful, but I am also sleepy.
Mm.
That puts me in blue, which is sad, but I'm green. I'm just sleepy and peaceful. I'm not sleepy and sad.
Sleepy and peaceful.
Sleepy and peaceful, yeah.
So that's kind of like an indigo or something like that.
We'll go
you
for
put
that.
on green.
Because I'm green.
Oh, because she green, but kind of halfway blue because she's tired.
I'm not halfway blue. I'm green. I'm peaceful and sleepy. I'm not sad and sleepy.
Oh, so she's choosing green.
Yes, I chose green.
Okay.
How are you feeling today?
You know me. Y'all know that I'm always feeling some type of way, kind of depending on the topic.
Yes.
Even though, coming in always to get to see my hair, I'm always happy and smiling. And y'all should see all the things that we have to go through to start.
Carrying on.
So I'm always joyful in that sense. But to think of this topic, I'm going to be purple today because I'm just hella confused.
Confused. Let's hear what you're confused
I'm
about.
hella confused. And it's gonna be something that I have always been confused about because it's something that happened to me. So, some say that family bonds is a knot that cannot be broken. Blood is thicker than water, all of those type of things. But our topic today shows that it can be broken. In fact, families can be untied. That's our topic. Family untied. And that's just when a family is broken because of non acceptance.
Non acceptance. So we're talking about non acceptance in all areas. In any area.
In any area.
Okay.
We do know that there's a big elephant in the room of non acceptance that we will get to talk about. But that could be in any area. That could be where somebody was born and raised as a devout Southern Baptist and you grow up and you realize that that's just not me. I may want to be a Muslim. And your family doesn't talk to you.
A religion. Okay.
A religion. A choice of lifestyle. A choice of I come from meat eaters. And now I know that looking at all these other people that the meat eaters are not as healthy. So I'm going to be a vegan. And now every time we get together, there's a
ham. There's a pig with the apple in his mouth. The pig with his apple in his mouth and your plate already fixed.
And they wonder why you don't show up as much because there's not a lot of food for you. Like, anything.
Career.
Speak on it, career.
So thinking about some cultures.
Yes.
You have to get your career on top. You have to be the top. You have to be a doctor. You think about being a singer or a what's something else? A cab driver or a dancer or something? No.
Comedian.
Yeah, a comedian. No, you have to, because you have to take care of your family.
Yes.
Depending on where you're from, like I said, depending on the culture,
Yeah.
you have to be able to take care of your family, and they just don't feel like you
That's
can do
it.
that. Yeah, they don't feel like you can do that in any other profession except something that's high up on the food chain, something that they think is high up on the food chain. So,
yeah.
Mhm.
That is something. So let's just go ahead and talk about this elephant. You know, we do know that there are some people who are cut off from their families when they come out. Some people's families will say different things. You know, you have those who have the experience of the parents being loving and just saying, this is my child. We see that in celebrities that are really supporting their children and letting them be who they are early on. But that was not my case. So for a long time, my family was untied after I came out because my parents, my mother, my dad would always just say, I love the sinner, hate the sin.
Love the sinner, hate the sin. That's fair.
Love the sinner, hate the sin. It's fair, but I still felt like after coming out, even though my dad, I'm a daddy's girl, he was always there for me. He loved whoever I was with, whoever I brought around. Um, but it still felt like, but I don't feel like I'm a sinner. So it just made me feel uneasy when he would say that.
So it was fine that he felt that way, but not that he voiced what he said.
I think him voicing it irritated me too. But the bigger thing was the matriarch of my family, which is my mother. And she was just not going for it at all. So much so that I had to leave the house and didn't really get to talk. We didn't have a relationship for a long time. That was very hurtful. And it was hurtful to me in the sense of just not understanding why her love for me didn't extend as far as I thought it would.
Well, we talked about people not understanding, people being ignorant of things. And especially when it comes to lifestyle, people only think about one aspect, which makes it such a big thing, because they're only looking at one aspect as opposed to you're loving. Yeah. We expect our parents to love us no matter what, because why not? You birthed me. I'm a part of you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's disheartening. Of course, it's disheartening to hear that anybody had to go through that. And I know that actually, I'm not sure what age you left home, but that's a reason that there are a lot of homeless LGBTQIA children, teenagers, young adults, adolescents that are on the street because of that. And I really hate it. It's awful.
It's a true thing. And I left later on in life. I didn't come out until late 20s, early 30s. And some people may be like, oh, why, whatever. But I had a double life for a very long time. And it was because I knew that once that came out and I was out of that cage, it would be in a sense of being released and out on my own because I knew how they felt.
So it was no turning back for you.
So basically. It was no turning back. I had to just do it. And at the time I had 2 small kids and that was a thing. I was always told, give your children what you had, a family, which is a mother and a father.
Well, we know that these days family is what you make it.
True.
Whether it's because, and I'm thinking about, even though my mom was married one time, My mom was a single parent.
Mm-hmm.
She was giving us a family, and
Yes.
we were a family. So it's not just that. And yeah.
It's not, but I will say my mom is from the deep south, Southern Baptist. Um, didn't really have experiences as some other people would have had. So she only knew what she knew. Mm-hmm. And what she knew was that it was not right, mm-hmm, in her eyes. And so even though she raised us to not judge anybody else, she could not get past that when it came to her child. And part of what she said to me was, now, how do I tell my brother and my sisters? How do I deal with this in the church? People will know. How would they look at me? So instead of her looking at her child saying, I'm tired of playing a lie and I'm tired of going through now. And mind you, I have had, I told y'all once before now that I could get a diamond ring before I can't get anything else. I have had several marriages, but I don't even count the first 3 because they were not mine. They were just something I did to continue to move on, to stay in the closet, because I knew once I came out that closet, I would not have, you know, the support that I grew up to having. And that was scary for me. That was really scary for me. So, there was a lot going on with that. And so I do know that families can be untied because I lived it. That was my experience, and it doesn't feel good. I've also seen in my family where uh, people who don't speak of don't speak of what people are going through, right? Like they know that their sister is gay and they don't speak of it. And they feel like that's love and support. But if you don't respect me enough to respect who I am, to say, this is my gay sister, or I'll give you an example. I first got married to a female, and we were coming to a family event. And in this family event, we were introduced. And it was introduced that my wife was my friend. This is my niece, Liv, and her friend.
Yeah.
Or my sister would say, oh, hey, y'all, this is my sister, Liv, and her friend.
Yeah.
And, you know, you say you love me, you say you respect me, but you don't respect my wife, a union that I have, that I'm saying. And this is even, you know, now to the point to where that's just too much for me. And I had to say, you know what? If you don't respect me, you don't get access to the things that comes with me.
Right.
And kudos to a girl that I saw today on a video. She said, to my family members who think that it's wrong for me being gay, then don't come and talk to me when I make it, because everything over here is gay. My money gay, my house gay, my girl gay, my bills, which is paid, is gay. Right. So don't even come over here. If you, but that's the thing. A lot of times families will align themselves with you and they'll attach themselves with you for what they can get, but they don't really respect you enough to honor who you are as a person. And how can you love and support me if you don't identify the fact that I am a gay female?
Quick question. Mm-hmm. So you say at a family event, well, not even a family event part, where you said you don't respect me enough to say this is my gay sister. Do you feel like you have to be defined as my gay Olivia, as the gay Olivia, or just this is my sister Olivia?
No. Now, if you were just introducing me, then that would be fine. This is my sister Olivia. But everybody knows I love tattoos. Everybody know that if I'm coming with a shirt that says you know, I'm gay as F because I'm happy or something like, or if don't ask me to change my shirt.
Well, no.
Don't ask me, or don't say, this is Olivia, because you don't want to say this is your sister because she got a gay ass shirt on.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And for me, just hearing, well, I love you, but I just know that's not what God wants for you.
Well, I think you still have to, though you want respect from people, you still have to respect the way that they feel and the way that they think as well. I love you, but that's not what God wants. Because if that's my belief, that's my belief. You have to respect it. And you have to decide if it's so much that's my thought. If it's too much for you to bear, then we have to do this from a distance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, along with the respect that you feel like you deserve, which we do, all deserve respect. This person or these people or whoever it is, they deserve respect for whatever they think or feel. And if you have to do it from a distance, that's just what it is, in my opinion.
That's true. And I totally get that, because I'm there now in the midst of doing all that. When you coming out, you don't know, and the reason why you didn't come out because you felt like this was going to happen. That sting is just that sting in that moment. So you're not trying to respect anything or trying to even think about that, because all you're feeling is the sting of them cutting that knot in that tie. Especially a mother saying, I don't want to deal with you. I will not deal with you, and you cannot be here.
Yeah, I can imagine that is a different kind of hurt.
So later on in life, can I respect it now? Because now, I talk to my mom, and I just know that it is what it is. Then I could not do that. And then, other things too, I feel like play a part in that as well. Because again, if you're trying to be one of those people that's trying to gain access to what I have, but you don't want to respect me, it's very hard for me to respect how you feel when you always in my face asking for something.
I agree.
So, as always, we got some questions so that we can eat on. Thank you for listening to my story.
Thank you for sharing.
No.
Thank you for sharing.
Hopefully it helps. But yes, we're talking about all of those areas because it is close to my heart, the area that I shared on. But there are a lot of people who have to choose other families, not because they're gay, but just because they're a little different, And to me, that's just not okay. But I do have a question. The question that I have is, why is it so hard for a parent to deal with or family members to deal with their bloodline being different or a certain way, but they can be okay with friends or anyone else outside of the family being that way?
Well, like I already said, when you see things, you hear people say, "Oh, well, that's okay for Ray Ray over there, because that's Doretha's son, but you my daughter. You my daughter.
Yeah.
No, we can't be doing that over here." But I don't know. I don't have kids, and I feel like if I did have kids, that wouldn't even be because I feel like my love would be so strong for my child that whatever you did, now, if you doing some other stuff, some stuff I need to call the police for, that's different. I would still love you.
Because she gonna call the police.
I'm gonna call the police. I'm still love you. But when it comes to something like this or anything, having to do with something that's just different from my thought process or different from how I grew up or what I learned, all this other kind of stuff, because the world is progressing. Yeah. And I'm not saying that everyone has to go with it, have to move with it, but at some point you're going to have to. Because if you think about it, there are so many families. If we did a little bit of research to see how many families had a member of the LGBTQIA,
it'll be a ton.
And people that know, and some, because not everybody has come out or not everybody is ready, But if people really thought about that, I would think that everyone has at least one member of the LGBTQI community in their family.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's so detrimental, I really don't understand why it would be so detrimental to a relationship. Hey, cuz, oh, you got a boy? No, that ain't my cousin. That sounds crazy.
Girl.
No, that ain't my sister. She gay. She got a girlfriend. No, that ain't my brother. He gay. Nah, I don't fool with that man. He got a boyfriend. That don't even make sense.
But sometimes a lot of people go with what the matriarch or go with what their parents say. They go with what other people say or what the whole just of what their family believes. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people hide behind that. Oh, it's just my belief. When do you really practice spirituality or Christianity that much?
Yeah, hit it. Hit it.
Like, do you say this and you say that it's because of that, but you're really following behind someone else and you're saying that it's not right. But I can quote the scripture and tell you what the Bible says. You can't say any of that. You ain't even been in a church.
That's what people do too. They pick out the sin that they feel, because it's plenty of stuff that you're not supposed to be doing based on the Bible. You know, if you're going straight out of the Bible, it's plenty of stuff that people are not supposed to be doing. But this the one you want to choose? Well, what about Earl that's been over here sleeping with Sheila, but he married to Martha over here, but that's still your brother? And you gonna let him bring Sheila over to the house?
And you gonna cover out this and say, and you gonna cover up for him.
Because when Martha call you, you gonna be like, well, where Earl at? Oh, he in there sleep. Yeah. That's your brother. So when you pick out which sin is gonna be the worst for you, then you really just making yourself look bad. And I really feel like all these people out here that's feeling some kind of way, I've said it before, they've done something worse.
You did say that.
They've done it, or they've done something worse than what it is that they got you all put on the back burner about. So I don't subscribe to that kind of stuff. Yeah. From afar, like I said, a long handle, the people say a long handle spoon.
Yeah, that's true. And you're so right about the different sins and stuff. It's just to hit it though, as far as like religion and what people believe or whatever. At the end of the day, if you are a devout Christian and you do read that word, we do know that everybody was made by something higher than us. Mm-hmm. B, we all were designed before we left the womb.
Already, everything in there.
Everything. Can't take nothing out of there. We were designed. And there is something that came for us if we just so want to put everything in a sin category, that the Savior and the Lamb was already sacrificed for that. So why do you rejudge people?
They ain't got nothing to do with you. That's not even your job. They ain't got nothing to do with you, Otis. That ain't even your job.
So that whole thing just is so crazy to me. But I just don't understand why people can, say negative things about someone that they're supposed to love, but then be okay with introducing that into their family. Because we lived in a neighborhood where there were gay people across the street from us, to the left of us, to the right of us. So if you were so like, no, this is what I'm against, why would you put your kids and grow your kids up in a community where
they're exposed
to it? Or why tell your children don't judge people, but then you're gonna turn around and judge them? Like, at the end of the day, be about what you believe and what you talk about. Mm-hmm. If you don't like it, don't like nobody outside of it either.
Right. No exceptions.
No exceptions.
Especially if you're not going to accept your child.
10 toes down. Stand on it. Anyway. My other question, talking about beliefs in religion, should your belief be stronger than your love for your family member or your child?
I don't have children, but if I'm going off of my belief is that a parent is supposed to love their child no matter what. unless I gotta call the police on it. And I still love you from afar. My belief is that a parent is supposed to love their child no matter what.
Yeah.
And I'll say something so small makes no sense to me. And stuff that don't make sense to me, it don't make sense, period.
Nope.
So I don't know. That's all I got. That's all I got.
You did speak on earlier, like me respecting what somebody believed, right? So if that's really what they believe, then maybe respect goes both ways on that. But I personally feel like know what you know, what you know. If your beliefs is that strong that it's going to come against someone that you love or your family member or someone you birthed, then know it, walk it, be it, and know where that source comes from, right? Because a lot of times people will take something that they say may come from the word, and it's not even in the word.
It's in your head.
It's a tradition or something that somebody has passed down or something that you just don't understand. And let's just speak on the fact that it's just really fear of the unknown.
Ignorance, yeah.
It's just really fear of the unknown. So educate yourself. Educate yourself, right? And I'm just saying too, if it is your belief, educate yourself on your belief so that you can back up what it is.
Well, ultimately, if a person feels that way, that would mean that it's not even worth it. It's not worth looking. It's not worth saying, well, is this still my daughter that's a really good person that'll give me the shirt off her back, that'll do this, that helped me do this, that taught her sister, taught her brother how to do this, or is that the real dependable person that I raised? So if you feel like that and you can't even put that in front of that, they feel like it's not worth it. So no. No, I don't think they would do research to figure it out. They're gonna stand on what they believe.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess that's true. I do just feel like for me and what I know, what I believe, that the universe is love, God is love. So to me, no, your belief should not come over love because love is it. Love is everything.
The whole purpose.
It's the whole purpose. And I just don't think that the universe or God would say you did wrong because you loved someone over what was put or placed in your head or what you believe. Because love ultimately is the beginning and the end because He is love.
And do you think that, well, this might get a little, so when everybody is separated into the categories, do you think it's going to be the person that has love for all people in their hearts? Or do you think it's the people that has hate for this group of people? I mean, I don't know because I'm not an expert in that. But what do you think? Do you think that?
Well, it does say don't judge unless He be judged. So it's not even our job to even have the final word or say. So if you walk around like that, thinking that you have that ability to do so and to put people down and not love a particular group, then you may have something to answer for, because it does say in several places where you should love thy neighbor, that you should love and honor thy mother and father, your family.
That's no matter what.
So
unless you gotta go to jail.
And she gonna call the police, but she gonna love you from afar.
Okay. So we are now going to check your levels. We like to know how y'all feeling, and we know that people like to hear coming out stories. So y'all should have liked that one. So y'all should have liked that one, But if you are feeling like you were pushed out of your family because of something that I say when I say decided, you decided that you were going to not be the meat eater, or
Yeah.
that you were going to choose a religion that worked for you, or if you're just being who you are and your lifestyle is different.
Yes.
If you're there and you don't know how to deal with it, you're upset, you're in the red.
You in the red.
You don't know how
Yeah.
to deal with it. And I can see how it could be frustrating and
Yes.
upset that I love my family and I want to be this and I want to be that and they should be this for me. I can understand how that can be
Yeah.
frustrated and make you angry.
You're in the red and you're in a colorful situation. But if you're in a situation where you can identify this, you're like, man, I remember when I didn't talk to my mom for that year and it was really hard, but now we like this. Or, um, hey, it was a little touch and go. We may not be like this, but we're over it. Then you're in the yellow. Like you may teeter totter. Maybe you can go back to it. But if you are, hey, that was me. It's not me no more. That never was me because I have a loving family who loves me and would never think about doing that.
Or that was never me because I do what I want to do.
And can't nobody check me, boo. You're in the green. You are not in a situation and you ain't never seen a situation like this one here.
In the green. Yes.
Oh Lord. We have some resolves. We have to talk about some resolves here. What is a resolve for this? This is really hard. This is a really hard one. Um, and I wish I had had this advice or thought about this when I was coming out. But I know that sometimes you just want to get ready to be like, oh, this is me. I'm coming. I want the world to know. I mean, you just want to bust out, right? But I would say take some time, think about how to do it, think about how that other person is going to feel and take it, and do it in a way where you can mend the gap early and not have to be untied. Just think about the other person and how they're going to take it, how to communicate it. Um, and that may be a lot of burden on you when you just want to be who you are. Um, but they're coming out too. It's not just you.
So my resolve is about the untied part.
Mm-hmm.
If you come out, if you make a decision about your life that doesn't align with your family, your friends, or whoever it is in the world that you're dealing with, and you become untied, it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay because there's a family, there's a tribe, there's a community out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I mean, I know that it's hurtful to not be accepted by people, and it's gonna impact you in certain ways. But know that there is a family out there for you.
Yes.
It's somebody out there that's just like you, that has been through something that you've been through. And there are people that are accepting of you. And there are people that have good intentions that are accepting of you. So that's my resolve. It's okay.
Yeah.
We gonna push through. We gonna get you through there.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly. It is okay and you will be okay. You'll get the support that you need. And sometimes family is not what the blood or who you grew up with in your surroundings. It's who love you, who supports you, and who's going to be there for you. So it is okay.
Yep.
And you'll be okay.
We have made it to the point where we asking questions. It's because we want to hear from y'all. We want to hear from y'all. If you want to share your story, we want to hear it. I'm sure other people, this is something that plenty of people are doing, coming out, young, old, all of that kind of stuff. People are coming out. We want to hear your stories. So we're going to pose these questions here and we're going to put them down in the comments. So the first question is, Have you found yourself in a situation where you were pushed out of your family for whatever the reason is? Whatever it is that you decided, whatever it is that is in you, have you found yourself there? The second is, how did you deal with it?
Mm-hmm.
How did you deal with being disgraced, being a disgrace to the family?
The black sheep of it all.
The black sheep of it all, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The last is, how are you dealing with it, so that you're not in a corner, in a dark corner somewhere with a hood on your head because you have been pushed out of your family? Are you doing healthy things? Have you found healthy relationships to take the place of that? Even though it may seem like you can't replace that love from your mother, from your family, from your father, from your sister or your brother, but we are a community. You have a community for whatever it is that you're dealing with, whether it be sexuality, religion, your food preferences, or where your career. It's a community for all of that.
So just to summarize, y'all know what we've been talking about. We've been talking about family untied, and that just happens when you are not accepted for whatever reason it is, and your family is broken, or you feel like the black sheep of the family. There are a lot of people who have that. It has happened to many of us. It does not feel good in the time, but you can get over it. So we did have some resolve, and the resolve was, if you are coming out, take some time to think about how to best give that message, and think about who's receiving that message. Right? And know that it's not about you when they do turn away. It has everything to do with them. It's not about you. The other resolve was, you're going to be okay. You know that you will be okay, because there are tribes out there. There are communities. There are people out there that will support you, love you, and then just let you just be you. And just be the best you can be. No matter what anybody says, move forward, because you will be okay.
So thanks for joining us today. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and we want to read your comments. Also, remember, not all colorful situations are the same, but you have the power to change your view.